Welcome to the Builders of Authority podcast, a show committed to helping you build authority for your brand. In the realm of business and personal branding, authority stands as a cornerstone. Authority isn't built overnight, it's built over time. So join us as we build something remarkable together. And now, here's your host, Adam McChesney.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Builders of Authority podcast. Our title sponsor for the podcast is Go High Level, also known as GHL. GHL is the first ever all-in-one platform that will give you the tools, support, and resources you need to succeed and crush your marketing goals. Personally, I've used this software since 2020, and it's been a game changer for my business and our clients. If you are looking to level up your CRM and marketing game, then this is the platform to use. You can find a link for a free and extended 30-day trial with tons of Builders of Authority and personal branding bonuses in the show notes. So take advantage of the opportunity to adopt the amazing software and grow your business. Today, I'm joined by somebody remotely that I just met online a few months ago. Last month, I had the chance to be on his podcast, and since then have continued to learn more about him and his company. He and his company are making some really exciting waves in the things of AI and all the different things as technology and SaaS continues to evolutionize, not only in 2024, but really heading into 2025 when this episode will officially launch and air. I'm excited to dive into everything that they are doing further here today. My guest today is Spencer Harman. Spencer, welcome to the show, man.
Adam, thanks so much for having me. So excited to be here.
Yeah, man. Excited to have you on. I know we had the chance to chat a couple weeks ago and just been following your stuff and kind of seeing what you guys have going on. So why don't you tell the audience a little bit about who you are and kind of what you guys do?
Yeah, so I'm president and COO of WAVV, and WAVV is a power dialer. So we really help sales teams, call centers, even individual agents that are just really doing a lot of prospecting, following up with their leads, or trying to re-engage like past reactivation type stuff. And you mentioned High Level as your primary sponsor here, title sponsor. We do a ton of business in High Level, an awesome ecosystem, and just, I love being part of that community for sure.
Love it, man. So what were you kind of doing before all this stuff? How did you kind of get to where you're at right now?
Yeah, so going way back, I was big into sports. I just listened to your last guest, and I grew up. My mom was a high school basketball coach. I played kind of everything: football, basketball, baseball. Ran track in high school. Did all of it. I actually signed to play at a JUCO for football, and then served an LDS mission for 2 years in South Korea. You want to talk life-changing. I mean, just an amazing experience. And came home after those 2 years and realized, maybe I should move on from sports, kind of like start real life for me. And met my wife shortly after that, within a few months of coming home and going to school. And studied statistics and didn't really know what I wanted to do. I thought I wanted to be a high school math teacher and coach sports, and that didn't really happen that way. I tried it out and it wasn't for me, and ended up going and getting into entrepreneurship, working at BYU and their entrepreneurship program, and just meeting a lot of entrepreneurs, and kind of dove into software of all things. I was not a software guy. I was very much not in that space. And it just kind of worked out the way I got into software and started working for small startups and had some great success there. And then after about 7 years, a few different companies, probably most popular Sling TV. We were the first to do streaming, live TV, really. And then after that, I went to start this company, WAVV. It was a little product inside of a company, RedX. If we have any real estate agents on here, they'd be familiar with RedX. But we spun WAVV out of RedX and started our own business about 6 years ago. So kind of a long-winded story there, but yeah.
No, it's a super cool story, man. And I think it's crazy. So I always love meeting entrepreneurs that have kind of the athletic background. I think some of the best like entrepreneurs or salespeople always had, whether they played in college or just growing up, or obviously some professional athletes that I've had on the podcast as well, is there kind of seems to be that like never quit mentality that you have to develop in entrepreneurship. And if you don't have it, it's not that you can't be successful, but I think that's why a lot of us get into that. What would you say kind of your experience in being around athletics kind of translated into the entrepreneurship world?
Oh, yeah, great question. So I have 5 boys now,
Oh, wow.
and coaching is still part of my life, of doing that and sports, the just the daily like consistency you need to have in sports translate so well into business, right? It's not like I can just show up and expect things to happen.
Yeah.
If you do that on the field or on the court, someone's going to steal time from you. It's not just a given. You don't just get it handed to you. And so the constant development day in and day out, both mentally as well as physically, that is a direct translation to business. So many people ask me, like, why are you investing so much into your kids playing sports? And they're like, are you hoping they get a college scholarship or get NIL deals or whatever it is? And I'm like, no. Honestly, I'm doing this because I think it's the best way to prepare my kids for the future of life. And that is, you need to be consistent, hard work. You're in a team environment where it's not fair, and some kids get favored over others. Like it's just a great way of preparing yourself for life. And so, yeah, translating that to entrepreneurship, it's almost one and the same for me. It's like, hey, I got to get up and show up for work. It's hard today. Like yesterday really sucked, but I know I got to get my reps in today, so I'm just going to go do it. And then you kind of learn to have fun with it too, right? Like looking back to football in like 2 days, and it's just a grind. Like no one wants to be there, but you learn to make it fun in those grind times with your team. That is, to me, one of the funnest parts of business, right? It's like the highs and lows, and really how you cherish those low moments together. So then the highs are even higher. So yeah, I love all things sports related and translates into everyday life.
Yeah, it was a great kind of explanation and kind of comparison. Is I was on a podcast yesterday and I was kind of explaining the same thing with like 2 days. It's like I don't know if it's that or the camaraderie or just like the aspect that like it's always something new and different that just kind of like continues to propel us forward, especially when like crap hits the fan and we're like, man, I didn't expect that, and it kind of relates a lot back to that as well. So talk to me a little bit about kind of like high level, right? Breaking it down a little bit more, like how does your software and kind of what you all do, what are some real world examples of how it impacts businesses?
Yeah, great question. So most dialers, you're going to a separate system, right? So they have an API integration with high level. And so that data is pulled out of high level into this other platform. Well, that's good, but now you're logging into a different platform and you're working your contacts, your leads, inside of that platform. Well, now you're kind of limited by the level of API integration and what the dialer platform can then do with automations. You're kind of stuck there. We intentionally built WAVV different than that. It's an embedded tool, meaning you don't ever leave high level. The dialer, all of it lives right inside of high level as if high level made the product themselves, right? It's one and the same. And so, hey, you want to have a robust follow-up based on how you disposition this call, boom, you can do that all through high level with WAVV. And so it's almost like the dialer that you dreamed of having all that functionality inside a high level as if they built it. It's like, yep, that's WAVV. It's there. Your team does not have to learn a new system. Everything just looks and feels like you're inside of high level.
That's awesome. So if what I'm hearing correctly, is this like an ad, like walk me through kind of like how you guys, I guess from a business standpoint, like how does a customer sign up with your guys' stuff for, for the average person that doesn't necessarily like hear this, like, hey, I'm in high level, like this sounds awesome. What is the process, and do they work directly with you guys or them, or how does it all navigate?
Yeah, great question. So whoever is the agency owner, or in high level, if you're doing like SaaS mode, right, you're selling your white labeled CRM. The agency owner or the agency view, you go agency marketplace, and then you have like a location marketplace. We're inside of the agency marketplace. So the agency, in those settings, you can go to a marketplace, you add WAVV from that marketplace, And then every single user or every single location, you can enable WAVV to basically for your users, your audience to have access to WAVV. So they'd still be signing up. You can decide to like bundle it and pay for them as part of your subscription plan. If I was a big agency owner and I have like a sales team that's, working the leads that I'm generating, I would just add it to my agency, and then all of my users, I would just sign them up inside of the high level, location, and boom, now they have access. What's really cool and different, like most dialers, you get access to one location and that's it. Where WAVV, it's tied to the user. And so that user, if they're in one location, if they're in 500 locations, it doesn't really matter. The dialer just goes with the user wherever they need to be calling people. So a lot of flexibility there.
Mm. So, and you keep using the word, like, I know what dialer is and things like that. Talk to us a little bit about like some of the lingo from like a breaking it down if somebody hears this and like, well, maybe I am interested, but I don't necessarily know what exactly that is.
Yeah, great question. It's funny because I forget how much I didn't know, and now I'm like, oh, doesn't everyone know this? But I look back, 6 years ago, the product was made, and I'm like trying to decide, do I want to come join, and kind of launch this? And I had no idea what a dialer was, completely new to the space. And they show me, okay, you have your CRM, and here's my list of leads, and I could click on that lead and call them. And I'm like, okay, that's awesome. Cool. And then they show me the dialer. I'm like, look, you can click this button. See that list of like 500 leads? It pulls all of that information into the dialer. And then you put dial and it starts calling them. And so then you talk to the one person. And when that call ends, it starts calling the next person. Like it's just so fast. And it's like, oh, I get it. If I'm a sales professional, why would I even bother with anything else? Like, you have to have a dialer. I think WAVV is one of the best dialers out there, biased obviously, but if you have not experienced the power of using a dialer, please investigate using a dialer. I mean, it is not worth the time of click to call, especially not calling from your cell phone. Like, anybody dialing from a cell phone, sorry, please just stop right now. Like, end this video, go find a dialer and sign up. Like, any demo, like, you'll be so happy that you did it.
Yeah, love it. So how is AI kind of like, obviously I know there's probably a ton of different stuff you get down, but like, how is that changing your industry and also changing how you guys are doing stuff?
Oh, great question. I mean, it's interesting. AI and like AI voice is just going nuts, right? Even a year ago, it was starting to pick up, and a lot of people were trying to use AI voice and using it to make outbound calls for them. Its ability to like respond to questions and stuff was, just uncomfortable. And that was a year ago. And now I'm like, dang, this is pretty good. Like this is surprising. Inbound calls with AI is really good. It's come a long way. I highly suggest people looking into that. So if I'm making all these outbound calls and then someone calls me back, I can have an AI answer that phone call for me and really drive it in a direction. So you can say, okay, and this is really functional in high level. I can have it drive towards just getting their information, contact information, and like driving it towards setting an appointment, or driving it towards even, getting, you could say like a signed deal or something, like push them towards a website. You can really tailor where you want that AI to push your audience, your contacts. That's just one example. A few other things that are really, really helpful right now is on the call transcription. So let's say you're like, no, I'm not comfortable with an AI bot answering my calls or talking to people. There's so much going on with call transcription. So I'm recording all the phone calls that I'm making. And now with AI, it will transcribe the call, give me a summary, give me a list of to-dos. And then it can even do like sentiment analysis, meaning, how positive was this call? Were there high moments, low moments, and get into coaching? Here's how you could close this deal better. It's amazing. It's just wild how much has happened in just, the last 2 years, but really even the last year is pretty profound how much has changed.
Wow. And that's what I think, because I'm always interested to hear from people that are in like the technology or the marketing space on their, I guess, interpretation or analysis of what AI is doing. And I think a lot of people are for the most part like unsure and scared. And a lot of people, like, I'm using a ton of AI for our SEO clients as I relaunched the agency. And I'm talking to these other agency owners, like ones I've known for a while, and people that are working with agencies, and they're like, yeah, I'm talking to them, and they're either not admitting that they're using AI, of course, like you don't want necessarily always want your clients to know, and or they're like afraid to touch it because they're like worried as if they're gonna be non-existent because of it. And I'm like, man, marketing agencies are gonna go away in the next 3 years, to be honest, anyway, and everybody's gonna turn into a strategist or a consultant or whatever, which is why I'm doing some of the stuff I'm doing right now. But I'm like, man, if I'm not willing to adapt it and leverage it and do it and talk about it with my clients, like, I'm signing up clients right now because they know I'm using AI.
Yeah.
And so it's about how to do your job more efficiently, not necessarily like completely deplete what it is you're doing to begin with.
Yeah. So I have so many people talk to me about AI and they're like, oh, it's going to take over the world. I'm going to lose my job. And it's like, okay, yeah, maybe. Or you can learn about it and adapt. I think at like every revolution period, where you had like the Industrial Revolution, and I have my wife's family, they're all farmers, right? And I look back at farming and how much farming has changed, right? You had the introduction of equipment, and even now with the tooling and like geo tagging, like tractors are driving themselves, plowing the fields. It's so amazing. And I'm like, look, are you guys making more money or less money now? They're like, oh, we're actually making more money. It's like, exactly. You're making way more money now because you're more efficient. It actually lowered the cost of food production. So all of us are benefiting. Like our overall quality of living has increased. And then look, how many of those farmers can't farm anymore? They've moved, they've kind of like had to move out of the business. And it's like, yeah, that's true. They found another job that actually paid them more, and the overall cost of living was dropping. So I think of the same thing in AI. Initially, is it disruptive? For sure. But if you can learn how to adapt and use that, you're actually going to produce way more. You're going to have better margins. Like it's an amazing thing if you'll lean into it and like really, yeah, take on that domain expertise, like you're doing, right? Like you're getting new clients, like you just said, because of your knowledge on AI.
Yeah, no, it's basically like you're either going to open the door and allow it to, I mean, it's going to impact us one way or the other. You might as well take advantage of it and write it while everybody's interested in it. And it is continuing, as you mentioned, to like evolutionize things. But yeah, it's going to be really interesting. 2025 is going to be a year that I think a lot of stuff is going to change and probably change quicker than ever before. What are you guys most excited about heading into 2025?
Oh, great question. I get excited over everything. I mean, it's like little things and then big things. I think what I'm most excited for is we've been using WAVV internally, like our sales team, we're dog fooding it. And there's still so many things that are kind of clunky and hard to do. What I'm most excited about is we are going to smooth and like really smooth out the ability for someone to start a sales team, even a call center, right inside a high level in a way that nobody's ever seen. I mean, it's like, hey, I'm a call center employee. I have this desire to go and start my own. Boom, you're going to be able to do that so quick and for so little expense and risk. I think we're going to have kind of an awakening with these outbound lead generators in a way that we've just never seen. So if I was an agency owner right now, okay, and I'm like, I am not a prospector, like I'm not getting on the phone, cool, don't. But there are so many people that want to do that you could go and hire that are going to be using WAVV and high level in a way that you as a marketer, it's like, this is an outsourced sales team for me that it has so much transparency, so much clarity, and we can track down all of our lead types. You know, if it's a Facebook lead or if it's a referral, like the ROI on every single lead, you're going to get so much clarity there because of the ability to pass that data through the system that you've never had. And so it's like, okay, yep, I'm going to turn this on because I can see the money's there. And right now it's just so much of a risk thing, right? It's like, I hope this gives me a return, but we'll just try it out and see what happens.
Yeah. No, man, I literally think in a very similar way as what you're talking about is like you're going to have to find a way to take advantage of this, to not just like, a lot of people are using AI to like grow existing stuff or to add it on. But like, if you're not using it to grow your business and get new people in the door with a sales activity, revenue generating activity, you're going to be left behind because everybody else is going to do it. You may have the best digital marketing agency website, but if people aren't coming in that way, people that are going to take advantage of AI, they may not be great, but if they do 1,000 calls a month and you do 20, it's a numbers game. Like, they're going to end up winning.
Exactly. Yeah. And another cool thing, this like insider topic, insider trading here, a little bit. We have met with so many agency owners that are like, I just don't want to dial. Like, and so then they've kind of started down the path where they hire someone else to do it for them. They're like, oh, I get it. Like, I'm seeing the return. The ones that have really gone next level, though, is they now start offering that as a service that they're selling. Yep. And so they found a really good partner that's doing this for them. And they're like, oh my gosh, I have all these clients. I have a roofing client that I'm doing this, all this marketing and ad spend for them. And they're like, I can turn on a whole nother revenue stream if I now sell the outbound follow-up, the outbound lead, calling and prospecting as if it's my own product. Boom, they've just unlocked a whole nother thing. And it's great money, right? Really, really awesome money that most of them are like, I just don't want to touch it. And it's like, don't worry, you don't have to. Just find a good partner and turn that on. So it's been really cool to see that phase.
No, that's awesome, man. Well, man, where can people stay connected with you? Where can they learn more about your company and everything you guys have going on at WAVV?
So WAVV.com is the best place, and WAVV.com, not WAVV. I don't know. We get called so many names. But anyway, WAVV.com. Hit me up on Facebook, Spencer Harman. I always tell everyone, Harman, Harman. Just remember, I'm the man. So it's MAN. But yeah, I just love to help out. And honestly, I love having conversations with people. They're like, I don't know if I want to do this. It's like, cool, let's just talk. Like, I love to get to know people's business and how the dialer and how like communication can be part of their business and really helping them grow it. So please hit me up if you're like, I don't know anything about dialer. Cool. If you're a diehard, you've ran multiple call centers, still hit me up. Like, I will show you some cool stuff that we can help you out with.
Love it, man. Definitely take advantage of Spencer and his willingness to help you. I've been, again, watching his stuff, was on his podcast recently, and really enjoying learning more about this stuff myself. So Spencer, thanks for coming on, man. I really appreciate you taking the time to do this.
Thanks so much, Adam. Appreciate it.
And thank you again to our amazing title sponsor, Go High Level. Without them, we aren't able to produce the quality of content or have amazing guests on like we did today. Check out a free and extended 30-day trial in the show notes. Make sure to leave us a 5-star review as well. Share the episode with somebody that needs to hear what Spencer shared with us here today and much more. We'll see y'all next week. And remember, authority isn't built overnight. It's built over time.
Thanks so much for tuning into this episode. We sure do appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, make sure you're subscribed to the show wherever you consume podcasts. This way you'll get notifications as new episodes become available. If you feel so inclined, please leave us a review. We sure do appreciate it. Until next time, friends.